hi, I'm Iron Man. You're going,
Yeah.
what? How could you be Iron Man? Well, my last name is Eisenman, which literally means Iron Man in German. So I've been playing this game for many years. It's called Smelly and has to do with salmon's sense of smell. Well, let's review a little bit about some of the life cycle. So you might have heard the video, the sound of the creek down there, and the salmon are in there and they're mating. Well, let's back up and go right from an egg. You've seen the eggs in the fish tank and they have eyes, and after they hatch, they have this yolk sac that they use for food. And once that yolk sac is gone, they have to find their own food. Meanwhile, they're just kind of living in the stream, looking for food. Well, what do you suppose they eat? Well, you'll probably find that out, but a lot of these little bugs that live in the water are some of their main foods. Well, does anybody ever wonder, well, what do the little bugs eat? Well, we'll get to that in a little bit. So they're hanging out and they're using up their yolk sac, and they have maybe learned to hunt their own food, and they continue to grow. And then after a while, they have this feelings like, I need to go to the ocean. Well, why would you want to go to the ocean? It's a big, scary place. And so, well, there could be some reasons. Well, there's more freedom. They could swim a lot and get exercise. But the main thing is there's lots of food in the ocean. So literally, they can migrate from the Oregon coast all the way up to Alaska, eating all the time. Now, something that's related, does anybody know why salmon meat is pink? Think about it. Does anybody know what flamingos eat? Well, if you said shrimp, you're right. So flamingos are pink for the same reason salmon meat is pink, because they eat shrimp. So here they are, living in the ocean, watching out for predators like orcas and fishermen and other big fish and so on. And at some point they go, well, I'm feeling big and strong, I'm really big now, and it's time for me to go back home. Well, why would they go home? Well, they go home, as you probably already know, is that they mate in the same place where they were born. So here they are swimming down the Oregon coast, actually the Alaskan coast, the Washington coast, and all the way to Oregon. And literally there's hundreds, maybe even thousands of streams that would support salmon populations. Well, how do they know which stream is theirs? Does anybody know? Well, I think the name of the game might be a clue. They have a really great sense of smell. And so they can literally smell their home stream. In addition, they have a little bit of iron in their head that they use like a compass. So between those two tools, they're able to go into a stream and go, smell, smell, smell. No, that's not the one. And go to the next stream. No, that's not it. And eventually they go, something's smelling familiar. And they find their home stream. So while they are moving upstream, do you know what they eat? Does anybody know what they eat? They don't eat anything. They have to live on their stored fat from eating and eating and eating in the ocean. Well, does anybody know where that smell comes from? How do they know, with all these thousands of streams, how do they know that's their stream? Well, if you look around, you can see that there's all kinds of leaves and trees and shrubs and bushes and all this sort of stuff that makes this, let's call it a tea. We'll call it a tea tree, you know? And so that smell is what triggers them to find their home stream. So they come up and they play their little dance with the females and the males dancing together until they scoop out a little area in the river where the eggs are laid, and then the male comes by and fertilizes the eggs, and then they get covered up. Well, they get covered up so that they can be hidden from predators, because a lot of things like to eat salmon eggs. In fact, some of you have probably fished using salmon eggs. Well, additionally, they come up and they spawn, and then after they are successfully spawned, guess what happens? die. Well, what's so great about that? Well, here's an interesting thing. They fertilize the forest. So an animal will come and grab this fish and eat what it can in the forest, and then the rest is left to decompose. And in fact, they have found chemicals from the ocean 200 feet up in a spruce tree. Well, how did that get there? It was from the salmon. So the trees would pull up those nutrients from the decaying salmon and transport them up to the top of the tree. So as a little baby fish, they imprint on the smell of their home stream. We already talked about where that smell comes from. Well, what do I mean by imprinting? It's like a deep, deep memory. We imprint on things too. So for instance, when I was a youngster, my dad worked in a dairy. And when I would go to his work to visit with him, he would always take me into this giant milk cooler and give me a carton of chocolate milk. So to this day, when I smell or taste chocolate milk, it transports me right back to that dairy with my dad. But it's not just smells and tastes, it could also be music or a song or a sound. So for instance, when I hear a particular song, it transports me right back to my very first car when I'm driving and cranking up the radio, listening to that song. And so that is imprinting. So they imprint on that smell, so therefore they can find it when they come back as an adult. Well, I wish you could be here to play this game called Smelly, because it's really fun and students really enjoy it. And I think they get something out of it. If you look down, you can see that we have 5 jars. In each one of those jars is a smell. And I'm not going to tell you what those smells are, but let me just say that they're good smells. And so before we can do anything with a team of students, you would line up and you would take one of these jars and you would imprint on the smell by opening it up, giving it a sniff, and you go, oh, and then you pass it to your teammates, and then you agree and whisper to each other so that other people don't know what your smell is. So we have imprinted on our smell, and before we can get started on the trail to find the other smells in order to find our home stream, we have to read this card from Station 1. 4 years ago, you were imprinted with the sense of your home stream. You left the fresh water in which you were born, and now you are full grown. You have felt the desire to leave these waters and head to your birthplace. You follow a kind of compass in your head that leads you down the coast of the Pacific Ocean. A familiar scent draws you to the coast of Oregon. A pleasant scent is coming from a river draining into the ocean. You turn into the mouth of a river that tastes and smells much like your birthplace. So here we are at the first fork in the trail, or shall I say river, and we come upon these other jars. And so I have to find my smell. So I'm picking up this one and I'm going to smell it. Oh no, that's not my smell. Or maybe one of these over here. What's this one? Ah, this is it. We have to go this way. Follow me. After I read the card. After I read the card. Station number 2. You have found the scent of your birthplace. Until now, you have only eaten the salty fish of the ocean. Now it seems you can't digest this freshwater food, but you must go on and live on stored energy in the form of fat. What confusion! The river forks and you don't know which way to go. What fork brings you to that familiar scent? You head up the fork that smells and tastes like home. Well, here we are at station number 3. We've come to another fork in the trail, and there's more jars with those special scents in them. So I'm going to smell this one. Ooh, it smells good, but it's not my home stream. I'm going to smell this one. Ah, that's not it either. Well, maybe I have to go this way. There it is. Woo! That's a strong smell. Follow me. We got to go this way after we read the card. Station 3. You fight your way past rapids, but you need rest. You look for a deep, shady, and calm pool. After a long rest, you continue upriver and find the scent becomes stronger. Here we are at station number 4, and that scent is becoming stronger and stronger. So I'm going to smell this one. Is this it? Nope. Smells good though. Is this it? Oh yeah, here we go again. I need to go this way. But first, I need to read the card. You swim upstream until a small waterfall blocks your progress. You find a nice deep hole beneath the waterfall. You wait for the big rains to come. This will raise the level of the water, making it easier for you to jump over the falls. You fight your way past rapids and notice the scent is becoming stronger. You continue to head upriver. Okay, here we are at station number 5, and we got to do some smelling again. Can we find our home stream? What's this one? No, that's not it. What about this one? No. Did I take the wrong way? Wait, there's one more jar to check. And? Oh, that's it. That's it. I am finally home. And you know what that means? It means that I get to spawn. Station 5. This is it. Your home stream. Others are here. No matter what direction you have traveled, the familiar scent is strongest here. You struggle to find a bed of pebbles the same size as your eggs. Here it is. This is where, if you are a female, you will build your red, that's the salmon nest, and deposit your eggs. If you are a male, you will then fertilize the eggs. Your job is almost complete, but not quite. You will need to die and become nutrients and food for all living things in this ecosystem. The salmon life cycle is now complete.